Hello and welcome. My name is Kadri.
And I am Bettina. We are from the association Community. It is a non-profit NGO based in Wörgl that is specialized on youth, integration and community work.
Together we present this episode that is a part of the project Storytelling for Youth Work funded by Erasmus Plus program of the European Union. Today we want to talk about international youth work and the project meeting that took place at the end of January in Wörgl. You will also hear about our project partners from Slovenia, Bulgaria, Greece and Serbia. But first, let's take a look at the heart of our project, storytelling.
Telling stories is as old as mankind, and it still brings people together. We all have been grown up with stories that were told by our parents or grandparents. Even as adults, we can still remember them and the feelings we had as children listening to stories. Storytelling in youth work can be used as a method to communicate targeted messages to young people. Young people can share their life experiences and values too. The content is connected to emotions and feelings, and so the information is more memorable for listeners. Stories can be fictional, but also can transport facts that will stay in mind better than just a list of hard facts. Through the method of storytelling, youth workers are able to create stories that are based on the interests of the youngsters, so they will really listen to them attentively and learn social values playfully. That's why storytelling is so interesting in the field of working with young people.
Thank you, Bettina. So let me also tell you shortly about the project. It is an Erasmus Plus strategic partnership project in the field of youth. The EU funding program supports and promotes cooperation for innovation and exchange of good practices. The project aims to promote and enhance quality youth work and to develop high-quality educational and practical materials for youth workers. Storytelling for Youth Work aims to strengthen the connection of youth workers with young people via the positive effects of storytelling. To do this, we are adapting different storytelling methods to suit the field of youth work. The project started in October 2020 and lasts until July 2022. During this time, we will develop free intellectual outputs, a multimedia guide and a board game on storytelling, as well as an online dissemination course aimed at youth workers. At the end of January, we met with the project partners for a 3-day joint staff training in Wörgl. So let's hear more about our partner organizations and their role in the project Storytelling for Youth Work. Hi Raya.
Hi Kadri.
Can you tell us shortly about your organization?
I'm part of the Future Now Association. We work from Sofia, Bulgaria. We work on youth initiative, youth projects, usually in the realm of education, of human rights. We want to create a better life and a better world for young people, basically.
Great. And your organization took initiative and led the first intellectual output that we were working on this storytelling project.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about the multimedia guide?
Yeah, so the multimedia guide as a start, we created this product that aims to be more practical for youth workers, a guide that you can open and you can read about how to use storytelling in youth work. It is separated in 5 chapters that cover different topics, but overall it's an overview if you want to include storytelling in your work with young people, how you can start, what tools you can use to make it easier, some like tips and tricks and little cheat sheets as we've shown, and games that you can play.
Great, it sounds really interesting, and you told us it's really practical. Maybe you have also a favorite tip or tool or exercise from the multimedia guide.
Yeah, well, I'm a little biased, but from my experience and my life also outside of youth work, there is a description for role-playing games, pen and paper ones, and I think that's one of the best storytelling tools and one of the best ways to connect with people. So the pen and paper role-playing games, definitely.
Thank you for your insight.
Thank you.
And we have here Diana from the NGO Juventa in Serbia. Can you shortly introduce yourself and your organization?
Hello. As you say, my name is Diana and I'm coming from NGO Juventa from Serbia. NGO Juventa is established 2009 and we are working in youth field. Mostly we are trying to cover topic about intercultural dialogue, interreligious dialogue, human rights, active participation. Also, we are very orientated to create some new tools for youth work, and we create different games which young people can use, and especially youth workers and people who is working with young people.
So you're quite experienced in creating board games for educational reasons. And one of the main topics we have been working here on this training in Wörgl is to develop the board game. Can you introduce it a little bit, what it is about?
Yes, we lead in this project. We lead the creation of a board game about storytelling. We try to put together and somehow connect board game and storytelling, because storytelling it's a very powerful tool to work with young people. Games it's also a very powerful tool to work with young people. It's opportunity for young people to learn some new things on somehow funny way, and it was especially interesting to include creation of new stories on different topic in the board game. I think we managed.
It was certainly fun to test and try it.
Yes, it
Thank
was
you.
very interesting.
Thank you. So we also have an organization from Greece here, Higgs, and we have Elena and Sotiris. Can you shortly introduce your organization?
Yes, thank you very much, Kandri. Our organization is called Higgs, is a Greek non-profit that mainly focuses on supporting other civil society organizations operating in Greece. And we do that mainly through an incubator and an accelerator, which are two very structured programs that mainly include a very strong educational component as well as consultancy support.
Do you think there is a rising interest in storytelling from CSO organizations and from youth organizations?
Yes, certainly. What we see is gradual overall interest into how they present themselves, organizations both in Greece but also outside, how they can communicate better to their target audiences. So for that, they are always in search for the optimum tools that they can apply. So storytelling is a great way for them to pass on their message to potential people that they're their beneficiaries or their people that they may support them. And it is much easier than other typical organizations of human activity, because for storytelling, you need the person, you need the story. And working on social issues is something that allows you to come up with many, many stories of very interesting examples of people, of how they survive, how they manage things, how they ameliorate their lives. So it comes quite natural, I may say.
Thank you. And Elena, we have been also working here, and you are leading the work on creating a storytelling dissemination course for NGOs and organizations in a youth field. Maybe you have a personal example where such a campaign has moved or activated you.
Well, definitely. Hello, Kadi. It was actually one very recent example that Sotiris brought into my attention, and I couldn't pass over it. It was a collaboration between a Greek NGO called Diotima, which are working against gender-based violence, and a Greek chocolate brand called like that. So they are, talking about a love story, and you suddenly see, the couple, especially the man in the relationship, becoming more and more abusive, and at the end they have the most unfortunate end. So she dies from his hand. And because actually it's been a really tough year in Greece, especially through this challenging couple of last years, I just couldn't take one more victim. Even if I know, it wasn't a real story, even if I know it was fiction, it still moved me so much seeing this one more time.
Thank you for this example, Elena. So we have one other organization here from Slovenia. I have here in the studio Katja, and maybe you can also, like the others, shortly introduce yourself and the organization. What do you do in Celje?
Of course, gladly. So thank you again, Kadri, for inviting us and being here. It's quite a pleasure for us. And we are coming from the youth center in a small town in Celje. It's in Slovenia. We have been a part of the community since 17 years. And our mission is to provide young people with informal and non-formal opportunities to enhance their competences, giving them the space for their personal and professional growth. It doesn't matter which topics they're interested in, just giving them the support they need from our side as youth workers in order for allowing them to grow and be the best versions of themselves that they can be.
Great work that you're doing there. So we've been working here. We met all together in Wörgl for 3 days. How has this training been for you and this time here in Wörgl?
Yes, it's been quite fruitful 3 days, working on the content and also creating the last outputs and bringing forth the best versions and the best project results that we can. It's quite extensive and a really good, stable partnership with everybody contributing to the content and having their expertise to making it the best possible outcome for youth workers and for youth as well to use for their professional growth. And it's been a great day and great 3 days with a lot of free time activities as well. So we enjoyed Wörgl very much with the skiing and the sledding also in the part times. And I know we'll do the best that we can for this project, and follow us. We have social medias and website as well.
Thank you.